last week we made our little block, right? So this week we need to put them together. And I told you that when you do paper piecing, it is the most accurate thing you can do. And I'm pretty happy with this point right here, because this would be the place that got kind of off a little bit if we were doing it regular sewing. It's just one of those tricky things. So we're going to sew this section together, and then we'll sew this section to this section to complete our star. I did press my seams open right here, and I'll show you the same when we get here. So I just am taking my two halves and making sure I have them going the right way. I don't want to sew that way. We want our star to come this way. And I can see right here that I didn't sew far enough when I sewed this piece. I stopped, and I should have sewn a little bit farther beyond the seam line. So normally I would stop and fix that, but because of time today, we're not. I just want to point that out to you, that we're not going to, that's what I would do, but I'm not going to do it today. So now, because I'm all trimmed up exactly the way I should be according to my pattern paper, I'm going to put my two halves together, and I'm going to pin, just because there is kind of a lot of bulk with the paper. Now, if I had used a thinner paper, it wouldn't be quite so bulky, but I didn't want to run out and buy special paper. And so you can get away with just using your printer paper. All right, today I remembered, swing my chair around, I remembered to put my open toe applique foot on. This will help me see better my sewing line right here. Okay, all right, so I also have, oh, I should also remind you, I keep talking about this and I always forget them. This is my leader, and I talked about that a long time ago. Here is, so here it is in my thing, and it's just a little tiny scrap of fabric that's there ready to take the knot or the funkiness of the beginning stitch, and I don't have to worry about it being on my quilt. Wake up my machine. I also have my tack stitches on, so it's going to tack here, which is totally fine, because on this part, ouch, in fact, I don't even need them today. I'm sorry, I just got a Charlie horse in my leg. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All right, we're just going to sew, and I'm going to sew with this. See how easy that is to see? And I realize that my foot is a little bit off. That's okay. I have enough with my IDT that I'm okay, and I'm just sewing slowly. Here comes that really critical intersection. I'm fine because it's already lined up. And here comes the end, and I've got my next little thing to sew off on, so I'm ready to start sewing my next, my next piece, which that's how I do it at home. And then we're ready. So let's swing around and press it, and get it ready to sew all together. You don't remove your papers until you're completely done, and I mean completely done with the entire quilt. I will show you how to remove a couple of papers, but if I were going to do an entire quilt with this, because this has all of my seam allowances, I don't want to remove any of those, because I want to be able to sew accurately all my blocks together. So once again, I'm just going to, I hope it's warm. It's warm enough right now. I'm going to set my seam, right? We always talk about setting our seam. Then I am going to finger open this, and I mean just like that. Okay, and it folds really nice with the paper, and then I'm going to press it with my iron and heat that up. And then I will turn it over, and then this is where you're going to open it up, and you're going to bless the camera guy. And then I am going to open my seam up. Oop, come on, open, open. There, get between those two fabrics right there. It's been a little fiddly because we're on camera. Remember, I tell you, there's always something that's a little wackadoo on camera. And then I'm just going to press this seam open, just like that. And if the iron were hotter, it cooled off while I was talking about everything, and we don't want to press that fabric weird. Let's get that back going the way it's supposed to go. Pressing is so important in quilting. That would probably like a little bit of moisture right there to make it behave better. Okay, now both seams are open, and usually we would take a pin and line up our seam allowances right here, right? You'd take a pin and you'd take a pin and you'd line them up. Let me show you what I mean. I'd stick a pin like right here, and then I would take it and I would stick a pin, whoops, let me do it the right way, because you have to do it from the back side because we're going right sides together. That way, and then I would take it and stick it right there, but I don't have to because I have everything on my paper and it's pretty ready to go. The only thing I'm worried about, I know there's a lot of bulk right here, but that's okay. I'm gonna put a pin to help hold these seams and down right here so that when I sew, it sews the right way. Sews the right way. And I do want to put a pin at the end just to help hold. Now there is a lot of bulk right here, and some people will have a machine that might slow down a little bit. That's okay. Your machine should be able to handle this, but it might slow down a little bit. Just keep being patient with your machine. I think I should be fine on this beautiful FOF 710. And so I'm ready to go. Come on, there we go. I'm not pushing my foot pedal down right. Ready to go. Gonna sew on that line. And just take your time. This is kind of relaxing because while you have everything lined up for you, you don't have to go fast. Now remember, this is going to get a little bulky right here, and the machine might slow down. This one, this one should not, and it has not. Oh, and then it did right there in the middle, and then it picked up over. See, you just take it and just insist that it goes. You might have to help push it through. I did not have to help on this machine. Some machines you might have to kind of help push through. FOF does have a tool called the hump. Well, I call it the hump jumper, but it is a tool to help get over thick seams like that. And let's open this up and see how magically that opens up. Love it, love it, love it. Let's take it over to the iron. And you can see now why I am so excited to actually take this simple paper piece. I told you I like this. To take this simple paper piece star and make a quilt using this. And we're going to fold this, and it is really stiff right there because there is so much bulk. Press that, and then we're going to open it up. And just press this open all the way through the really thick part. And go slow, take your time. I'm coming from one side and then I'm going to turn it and come from the other side. And I'm still rolling my seams today. I did not do this at home. I don't know why today gets to be such a special day for that. It's because I'm doing it on camera, trying to show everybody, and I'm like, I never have that kind of problem at home. Oops. Open fabric. Open fabric. Tell the fabric you want it to open up. And we're going to get up here to this big knot right here. Now when all that paper comes out right there, which we can start taking that out, that will lay nice and flat. And then I would repress my quilt when I'm all done. Okay, so now to take the fabric out, or the papers out, this is something I would do sitting down with a trash can by me and watching TV. Because it's all perforated. You can sometimes grab it with your fingernail. My fingernails are too short. You could take a pin and come in and carefully lift your fabric. Like that, I say carefully lift, and it's like, come on, and get it started. I just need a little corner started right here. That's all I'm trying to do. And it should just pull along that perforation. I say it should, but you know, again, just like that. And just keep working at it and pulling it out. And I know that there are a lot of people who don't do paper piecing because of this very thing. It's like, I don't want to take out all that, you know, spend all my time taking out all that paper. But it's not a big deal. Just keep working with it. Be patient with it. You know, you might have to pull it a little bit here, pull it a little bit there, get another needle under there to get it up. But it's really not, there. It's not a big deal to keep, and then just work it, and get all of those papers out, and they just keep coming out. You know, up here in the point, it's like, that's probably the most difficult part of this whole thing. That's okay. Just be slow and gentle with it, because you don't want to distort anything. So just slow and gentle takes care of it, and you'll get it taken care of. And that is how you paper piece, and that is how you get excellent results. And this one is fun enough that I actually think I'm going to eventually, I don't know, maybe 2 years from now, make a quilt with it. That's about how far out I am on my projects. I keep adding to my projects. Lots of fun. I hope you give paper piecing a try. I'll put the link again in for this pattern so that you can download it and start your own project. Use your scraps, use new fabrics, whatever you want to do. And thank you for watching.